Good morning, everybody. In the zone, new time, 11 o'clock. And for the first time ever, we are on location and I have our guest in person. Totally unexpected and not planned, but here we are. And we're really excited to have Tony Ellsworth Williams here, founder of Veterans Counseling Veterans. And he's always got something going on. But Tony, for the audience that, members that don't know you, introduce yourself a little bit, starting from when you retired from the Army.
So I served 24 years in the Army, 8 years enlisted and 16 commissioned, which means I'm bilingual. I can speak both the enlisted and officer side. And my dad served in the military for 20 years as well. So getting in the military, serving in the military is in my blood, something I grew up with. So when I finally retired, like most of us, right, we said, what are we going to do now that we're grown up? And I just happened to, just happened. I met my wife, who was law enforcement in New Jersey, and she was in charge of domestic violence. And so I wanted to do I wanted to relate to what she was doing. So I went into domestic violence as a volunteer. That's what got me on, hey, you know what? I think I may want to be in the mental health because that was a big thing back then. I had two choices, mental health or education. Mm-hmm. And I was a substitute teacher and I went to this class and it elementary 8-year-old or whatever, and they really pulled the wool over my eyes. Yeah. So I was so upset that I had them when I found out they tricked me. They were all in the front of me, they're all in push-up position. I said, you're gonna stay there until I get tired. So that's what said. When after that, the teacher's like, "Oh my gosh, he suffered PTSD." So I knew then that that was not going to be what I was going to do when I got out of the military. So then came mental health.
That's awesome. Just a few minutes to get everybody watching a little curious about where we are. We are at Urban Still House in St. Pete, St. Petersburg. For those that are watching us outside of Florida, that's St. Petersburg, Florida. We're here for a very special photo shoot, but didn't want to miss the opportunity for everybody to get to know and hear from Tony. So what do you have coming up, the next event that you have to support veterans?
So one of the things that the primary mission of Veterans Counseling Veterans is to prevent veteran suicide. So one of the events coming right now is called Military Sexual Trauma. So third one, Military Sexual Trauma Conference, and it's going to be USF. And the reason why I picked military sexual trauma is because I found out that women veterans have twice the rate of suicide than non-women veterans. So I knew that we need to fill that gap. And Florida being the second largest women population in the country, you can imagine, I think it's 8.4% of women veterans have MST. So 165, Florida has 165,000 women veterans in Florida, 8.4, it's only 14,000 women who are in Florida who are experiencing it. It's not just a woman thing, it's a male thing too, 2%, but I knew I had to do some of that. So that's what's coming out right now. It's our third one. I think the only one that does this, definitely in the state, where we're actually starting to address it. The most thing that makes you unique about this conference, that this conference is called Healing Families and Relationships. It's something you don't hear much about when it comes to veterans, but it's really us providing help and for the families of veterans who are experiencing PTSD, sexual assault. And so the whole conference, we've got speakers coming in. The whole focus for the next 3 days is how can we help that family navigate through the episodes of military sexual trauma.
Treating the whole family unit is very important. Even of course with Action Zone, it's not that same type of trauma. Being an entrepreneur can be pretty traumatic, but we invite the spouses and family members to participate in our cohorts because even though it may not be a family business, it's being an entrepreneur, a small business owner, it's definitely a family affair and affects everybody. So I appreciate your similar vision that it's not just the victim that needs healing, but it's the entire family. And Action Zone has some things coming up for military sexual trauma in intimate partner violence victims. We're not ready to quite announce all of that, but so really appreciate it. How do they find you? How do they get to the event? And I understand the event is 3 days?
3-day event, and you mentioned IPV, and one of our speakers, and our topic is sexual assault in the marriage. A lot of moral trauma. So we're going to talk about both the sexual assault in the marriage, but also the moral trauma that comes from it. So it's 3 days. You can find us on Eventbrite or my website. So we got Eventbrite, which I'll share with Val later on, or our website, and it's only $25. $25, and guess what? We feed you. So you're going to get on Saturday. We're going to actually visit the Crisis Center Tampa, so they can get a chance to see both get a chance to see each other. After that, we're going to have lunch at China. on us. So what else can you go where it only costs $25? You get 3 days of waiting to help your family, but also getting fed at the same time. So just a USF Tampa over in 12303 Genstaff Avenue, Genstaff Drive.
And I will put all this information in the chat following the show, so everybody can register, find the links, and know where to get the information. So,
And if you mention Valerie, we will not only will we waive your registration fee, but we get you a T-shirt too.
oh,
Any people out there says, "I know Valerie."
most people don't want to admit that they know me, but now that he's giving a free ticket to the Military Sexual Trauma Conference and a free T-shirt, maybe I'll all of a sudden have more friends.
That's what the T-shirt. The T-shirt.
So, is there anything else that you want to share with the audience, and what else you have coming up other than the Military Sexual Trauma Conference?
I always say that Veterans Council Veterans are God assignment, and he keeps me busy. So we also have our 10th annual. We have special ceremonies for those who lost a veteran and first responder. I think I told you before, Weiss retired law enforcement. So we have that on 25th of May at American Legion Post 5. So anyone who knows someone to die by suicide and want to give them honor them without any kind of stigma, be in a safe space, that's there. That's going to be 25th at Post 5. And in August, look out for this: serving our elderly veterans. There is so much that, and it's funny, Valerie, as I was talking about elderly veterans, I said, wait a minute. I'm elderly. I'm elderly. Well, you're not elderly, but I'm elderly. So it's really, it covers all of us. So look out for that. It's a way for us to start bridging the gap between the federal, state, and community, so we can take care of our veterans, even when they're serving, when they're elderly.
Yes, that's important. When I was returned from the Army, my goal was to be a physical therapist assistant. Schooling is, less years to be a PTA, and it was to specifically support our geriatric community, because I do think that's very important. And I hope that one day, when I'm taking forever to cross the street, cross on my own, with my own abilities at my own pace, and things like that. So I appreciate again all of the issues and the topics that you touch through veterans, counseling veterans. They are not always heard, and not always heard to the fullest extent of what's necessary. So thank you.
I will add one thing. First of all, I want to shout out to Rosie. I don't know where Rosie is.
Where in the world is Rosie?
And we love the cruise. And about the slow pace, I said, man, pretty soon I'll be the old. But yeah, so hi Rosie, if you're not here, and when's your next cruise?
That she will let you know for sure. So thank you so much, Tony, for joining us. Thanks, Urban Stillhouse here in St. Petersburg. If you haven't been here to eat, the food's amazing, the ambiance is amazing, and of course, the Horse Soldier Bourbon is amazing. I will drop all the links to what Tony has going on in the chat after the show. And don't forget to mention my name if you want to attend the conference for free and get a T-shirt. Thanks, Tony.
Thanks all for having me.
Totally surprised me with this live show. So this is awesome.
That's that Pisces, right? Be careful, Pisces. They're very spontaneous.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Take care.